booked and you go and play live, is it just you and an acoustic guitar?
Well, it has totally varied over the years. It's been from me with the acoustic guitar in a small setting where we don't even really need amplification. It's been me by myself where it's just, you know, set up small amp for the guitar and voice, so it can kind of reach more people. And then it's been with different bands that I played with, which then requires, you know, all the different instruments and the, you know, sound engineer and all that kind of stuff, and you know, doing the sound check an hour before the gig and all that kind of. So then it's kind of like renting, you know, doing all the what needs to be done in terms of getting a gig, which is what do you need, or the equipment, or the musicians, what do they need, and timings, and you know, all sorts of things that you need to do a bigger gig. But in my case, I don't really take any equipment on my own. I just take the guitar and then and a jack, and then and then it'll be like, right, I need this and this and this and this and this.
So what kind of a guitar do you have?
I have two. I have a Takamine nylon string, which is a really lovely acoustic, electroacoustic guitar. I've had that since 2004, maybe, roughly. I bought that in Brighton. That was really nice. And then a few years ago, bought a Martin steel string guitar. Steel string, also electroacoustic steel string guitar. And depending on the songs, I play different, you know, different songs, record different, depending on the song, it will require different guitar sound. I think I spoke to you about that, transitioning between locations and kind of finding out where I want to base. So I think once I do base myself somewhere, like I know at least, okay, I want to live here for a while. And of course, my vision for myself is to have some sort of recording, at least a recording room in my house one day, where I can set up, you know, having an amp, having this, you know, mic set up that I don't need to pack away, that I can just have it there, that I can practice, learn how to use it, or, you know, have other people come around and we can jam together and whatever. So I do, that is something in my, what I'd like to, you know, get better at and be good at. I think just, but I do, yeah, like I said, like I'm honest with how I feel about stuff. And whereas before I'd be like, oh, I need to get this and this and this. And I'm like, no, actually, if I'm going to do a gig, I'm not going to carry an amp around with me around the country, you know what I mean? Or abroad. It's just like, it's a mission. Just be like, ask someone who's there who's got an amp. It's like, so yeah, so at the moment I'm organizing some stuff in LA, but they're very low key. I'm just doing some small intimate concerts. So even there, it just probably no equipment really, just kind of do some little intimate concerts, and yeah, and then as it grows, like I'm kind of along the belief of like, you know what, A, I don't want to do it all by myself, and B, if someone can do it better than me because they love it, they'll do it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like collaboration of music, isn't it? Someone's great at sound, someone's great at lighting, someone's great at playing the drums, someone's great at doing this, making beats, producing, and I have my part in that ring as well. So more like collaboration in that sense. So
yeah. Some of your heroes or influences listed is Tracy Chapman, Indigo Girls, Cat Stevens, and even Bon Jovi. And I was just wondering if there's been anyone either before or since, you know, that you've thought, you know, maybe somebody who isn't even kind of that famous, that you've just thought, oh yeah, I really like what they're doing, I like what they're about.
Well, I've recently been getting into watching music documentaries, which opens up doors of people that I'd never even heard of or listened to their music. Like Metallica, for example. I knew nothing about them, and I watched the documentary and I was like, wow, interesting. Do you love Metallica? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I went to their concerts, man, when I was 15.
Oh, wicked. Oh, nice. Yeah, they're amazing. And I kind of got to love, in a way, I got to be honest, haven't listened to much of their music, but kind of love and respect them for just the journey and watching the documentary about their lives. So I like watching documentaries about people and people I've never heard of. Recently, I would say, like, I do have a lot of friend musicians. I remember a few years back, they're not together anymore, but there was a great band called Pogo. And they were from the States and Canada, and they came to Brighton a few times to gig, and I was a huge fan of theirs at the time. Now they've Now they've split up. I think one of them is in another band called Birds of Chicago, and I can't remember the other name now. Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. Someone asked me this question the other day, and the interesting thing as well is I don't actually listen to a lot of music, and my friend was like, even my friend who kind of interviewed me to write down even that list, right? The Indigo Girls and Cranberries. The reason it was such an old list is because it's like, you know, when I was younger, I was really kind of fan of music and really loved like my bands and then I think because music became such a big part of my life creatively, that it's almost like when I'm not creating music, I like to just not have music on. Like, you know, not all the time. Like sometimes I'm in the mood and I'll put some tunes on, like, you know, doing this or getting ready to go out, whatever. But often, you know, if I'm not creating the music, I'm kind of like, you know, I'll watch a movie or I'll just be quiet, you know? And yeah, that sounds a bit odd because you'd think that as a musician, I'd be listening to loads of stuff, and I really like, some people say to me, oh, have you heard of this band and that band? And I'm like, no, oh my god, what am I doing? I just don't fucking listen to music. It's terrible. Yeah.
I mean, like, that totally resonates with me, and I totally get it. It's like, you know, people always used to come up to me and they'd be like, oh, what are you doing? I'd say, I'm a DJ. They're like, oh, well, you must know DJ so and so. It's like, really? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
We all know each other. Like, really?
It's true. And I'm like, no, I don't. And they're like, how do you not? I'm like, because I don't. I just play music and I write it. And then by the time I've spent, like, you know, hours writing a song or recording it or practicing it or going to rehearsal or this and this, after that, it's like I don't want to hear music anymore. Like, not because I, you know, I'm bored of it at all, but it's just kind of like, oh, okay, bit of a breather. So I'm not I'm not really with it in terms of new music and stuff.
So back before you had become an artist, or even knew that that's what you were going to do because you were busy playing with your friends, was there anybody that kind of, like, where was that thing that just kind of, I don't know, like, did you just wake up one day and go, hey, I'm going to be an artist now? Or was there somebody that you'd heard, or, you know, what happened there?
No, I didn't really. It was never kind of, I want to be a singer, or that never happened. It just kind of like, it progressed. Like, I always loved music, and then I started singing. And then actually when I started, like, I loved Tracy Chapman when I was younger, and the Cranberries actually. And I used to listen to them a lot. And then Michael Jackson, all sorts. I lived in Mauritius. I grew up in Mauritius, so we had a limited amount of music coming in. It was very kind of mainstream. And all we got was on the radio. A lot of French music as well, which is quite funny. But, you know, when I started learning the guitar, then I started to learn songs like from Tracy Chapman. I started to learn the songs from the Cranberries. So I kind of like Indigo Girls. So I kind of was connecting with their music in that way, but it was never, and then it kind of be like, wow, you guys are amazing. Like, this is really cool. You know what I mean? As opposed to, oh my God, I want to be a singer and I want to be like you. It was just kind of like I was connecting with that. And then I think it was, it just kind of progressed slowly, but they were definitely inspirational for me in that way. Yeah.
So when did you find your first song got delivered to you then? I mean, like, that's quite a big jump, isn't it? From kind of, I don't know. I mean, what did you do before?
I know. What was I doing? I was busy playing football and basketball on the streets. I was, when I first learned the guitar, I remember the first song I wrote. I must have it somewhere in my things. It was a breakup song. I was heartbroken. And yeah, my first girlfriend had broken up with me. And then I wrote this song. That's who I was really into at the time. Ani DiFranco. Have you heard of Ani DiFranco?
Yeah.
Well, I was a huge Ani DiFranco fan for many, many years. And so I think she inspired me as well, writing songs, because she just kind of, there was no structure. Her songs are just so kind of just, you know, just wacky and amazing in their own way. And yeah, I don't know really, maybe it just kind of happened, I suppose. And I was like, oh, I like this. And, you know, another song came through and another and another. And yeah, it was funny. I wrote a song. I put this video up yesterday, actually, because it was the 2-year passing of Dolores O'Riordan, the singer of the Cranberries. Okay. And I was a huge fan of the Cranberries. And I remember when I heard that news, I was really sad. I was really sad. And I wrote, and a song came through that night. And I didn't realize it was about her until the next day. It sounds kind of weird, but because I was already playing the guitar that night, and then I just was recording, and then I listened the next day, and I was like, oh wow, that's about her. Oh, okay, that was about her. And yeah, I recorded it last year, and I put it up on a video just like as a tribute to her yesterday. I haven't released the song yet, but that was, you know, she was a big inspiration. So I've had a lot of people who've been inspiring in my life, for sure, like really inspiring musically. I think it's like when I was younger, it was Tracy Chapman, Ani DeFranco, the Cranberries. Who else did I love as a kid? I think those female singer-songwriters, those were the ones that kind of were up there. And I suppose they did have an influence in inspiring me to do what I do, you know what I mean? But it wasn't kind of like, it wasn't like a moment where I'd be like, oh, I really want to do this. It wasn't that. Like, I know for some people it has been. It's like, you know, they'll be like, oh, I definitely want to do this, or this is, you know, this is the moment. But it never, yeah, it wasn't the case for me. So it's more like a gradual thing until I was like, oh, wow, this is what I'm doing. Fuck, this is brilliant. Awesome, I love it. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for new and inspiring artists?
Yeah, I would say really be yourself. Go with your initial instinct on stuff, and don't do things because you think you should, or you think it will be popular, or you think it will be a success, or you think it will sell. Like, go with what you really feel like doing. Because what people connect to in the music, in any music, they connect to people who feel what they're doing. Mm. And the only way you're going to deliver that is if you really feel and love what you're doing. Mm. And something can be popular and it can be successful, and that's totally fine. Like, if that's, you know, if we're all drawn to different things. I would say just really be honest with yourself about what you like doing within the music, which part of it, whether you like, because nowadays the music industry has changed in that we have to do everything. We have to do everything. At least that's what it seems. But within that, kind of start to find out, what is it that I love doing? What part of this do I love? And what do I just enjoy? Be honest, like, just go into who you are, like what makes you, what do you want to say? What do you want to sing about? What do you want to write? And not what you think you should, or what you think will be successful, because there's so many tips and things that you can do, like to get more listeners and followers, and where to be successful, and what's trending, and what's cool and what's not cool. And it's like, that is just comes and goes. That just comes and goes. And people who last in the music industry, people who are just really connected with themselves and what they love doing. And then another person will connect with them because they're being honest. It's being honest. It's showing an honest part, a vulnerable, honest part of yourself. That people just want to connect to honesty and truth, as opposed to trying to be something different for a particular outcome, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, kind of long-rounded way about saying, you know, be yourself and do what you want, really. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, basically, I mean, like, I know you've done like 8 albums, but I mean, from what I read in your bloggy bit, I don't know if there's been more since then. I don't know how old that bloggy bit is, but certainly I've only come across the stuff on Spotify, which I now have on permanent shuffle. Between you and Tom Middleton, that's it. That's where I go, or I'm listening to Sounds of the Rainforest. So So where can I hear the rest of it? Or is that actually it on Spotify?
So let me have a quick check what I have on Spotify. I have one more album that I'm due to put up there, because this is an old album that was released by someone else, and I'm now releasing it through my platform. It's so funny though, it's so interesting with music, because the more you get into it, the less I like my old stuff. I'm just so like, why is that even out there? But then you just can't do that, because it's none of your business after that. You know what I mean? It's other people's business to listen to it or not. Most of the stuff I have is up on Spotify. I have 5 albums. You see, what albums and EPs are considered different in different places. What is considered an EP in one place on Spotify is different, so I don't quite know. But I have most of my stuff up on Spotify.
Yeah,
most of it is up there. Yeah,
because I have to say my absolute favorite is Oeho.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. You know, I got a 20-minute free version to download on SoundCloud.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
great.
send you the link. So I have because a lot of people were asking me whether I had a long version. So basically I looped it, or I had a friend loop it, because I wouldn't have a clue how to do that.
Rewind the tape and press play again, right?
Exactly, right? Like, come on, guys. I had a friend of mine loop it, so it's now 20 minutes. And that one's free to download on my SoundCloud.
Cool.
Yeah,
great. Because that's
really
that's what I did on Spotify. I just looped it. You're right.
Yeah. This was maybe before the loop button had that option. Like, I was like, so, yeah. So it's mostly all up there, and there's some of them are not albums, some of them are EPs, some of them are Teardrops is a single. Who Am I? 3 songs. Just Before I Sleep, 5 songs. Yeah, they're mostly up there. I think I'm due to put one more up.
Yeah, cool.
And I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think more has appeared since the last time I looked. I'm slightly confused, because there definitely wasn't all of that going on before.
Sections as well. Sometimes they're in different sections, because sometimes it's 3 come up, and then you have to press like see discography or something, and then you see other ones come up after that, and they're very different. Like there's there's a lot of mantra ones. Jap Hari is a mantra. There you go, 2009. That was my first one. Joy of Sadhana is mantra. Har is mantra. I'm Grateful is like affirmation. Ayas Amor songs. Oeo is in Peruvian. Just Before I Sleep is like mantras, but in English.
I'm looking forward to hearing the Who Am I stuff, because I don't think I've heard that.
Who Am I is really good. I think that's my favorite. That's my favorite of my stuff. Who Am I? I love it. It's 3 songs, but I love my favorite of my music out there at the moment is Who Am I, Just Before I Sleep, and Teardrops. I suppose it's because they're most recent. You get kind of better as you go.
Yeah, the power is here now. Love that.
That one's really
the words just absolutely fantastic. Totally resonating.
Yeah, that one's really beautiful. I do love that one too. Yeah, I'll send you the link for the SoundCloud
thing. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And so are you any so do you promote yourself? And if so, how?
God, I'm so bad at promoting myself.
So just no.
I kind of put stuff up on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
I post stuff on Facebook. I've had so many people say to me, you got to promote yourself more, because I know that what I have to offer can reach so many more people, like really, really, really can. And I know that that's on the way to happening. I just don't like promoting myself. So I don't know, like maybe until I find a promoter, or until I think it would probably be my best bet to look for a promoter as opposed to try and do it myself, because I don't like doing it, to be honest. I'm like, hey guys, listen to my stuff. Like I do it on Facebook. I just like a new song, I'll put a YouTube video, I'll put my songs up there, which is cool. But that is definitely something that I'm not the best at. But you know what's so interesting is that, like, even without doing that, I'm doing so well.
Yeah.
that's what I find fascinating sometimes with what I'm doing. It's like what people would say you can't do unless you're promoting is happening.
Yeah.
For me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's just because the music is speaking for itself and taking its own journey. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that promote. I'm not definitely not saying that not to promote. I'm just saying that. What am I saying? I say that maybe things aren't always as they seem. Possibly, like the normal way to do that. You know, record, promote, gig. Maybe it's not always like that. Like now, I'm kind of in a phase of. I haven't been doing many concerts really, to be honest. I got out of the Month of the World. I'm not really gigging. I've just organized this stuff in LA just to do something to see how that can unfold. I'm moving out of a niche genre. That was a bit challenging, but I'm kind of trying to create a new way, see how that unfolds. So I haven't really promoted. I'm not very good at that. There's so many things that I could be doing, but I'm like, I just hate doing things I should do or need to do or feel like I won't be able to get by without. It's just like, it just gets on my nerves. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And yeah, the music, in a beautiful way, the music kind of just takes its own journey. And you never know which ones are going to fly. Like, oh, it's just amazing. People are loving that one. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. So you're off to, when are you back in this country?
Don't know yet. Haven't quite decided. Okay. I'm really just kind of, open road at the moment. I'm organizing March in Los Angeles. And then don't know. I have a few different country options. But I definitely, it's funny. Haven't lived in England for a long time because I was living in Spain before. But this time back, I've been here for about a month or so, more actually, 2 months. And have to say, I've had a new found love for England again that I don't know if I'd live here again. I'm not sure. But I definitely kind of appreciate so much more of it. I think when you travel, you can see, it's like you get a better perspective of things when you see differences. You're like, damn, England's a fucking brilliant place. It's amazing. Last year was really getting into that. This year even more, just started off as a real like, okay, shit, I need to trust and surrender even more. Like I really have no idea what my career is going to look like and unfold like. I don't know how and when the gigs are going to unfold, what they're going to look like, what my band members are going to be like, what the management's going to look like. I have all these things that I know is moving into, but I don't have a freaking clue. And it's like, okay, am I going to get stressed about it? Or am I going to know, once again, remind myself that the power is in the doing nothing. Obviously doing, you know what I mean? Obviously doing stuff because I can't not do stuff. But you know what I mean? The power is in like really trusting in that, okay, this is what I want. Well, I'll get it because that's the law of the universe. You get what you want. But you get what you want, not when you want it. You get what you want when it ties into when it's right for you. So you can't be like persistent on it, you know? So it's real, it's total surrender, man. It really is a practice. It isn't, I mean, you know, isn't it? Letting go. It's like, okay, how is this new life for me now with 2 kids and different to DJing? What's that going to look like? Right? But you gotta, you know, you love it, you know, you're doing it, you're putting your moments into it and you're giving your part to it. And the rest is like, okay, I'm going to trust into the unknown and let it show little snippets to me. Let it show me, you know, what I need to do rather than me kind of trying to figure it all out. And my mind is just like mental, man. I think way too much. I think probably all humans do, but
that's why we have to meditate, isn't it?
Totally. It's like,
have you seen the joke meditation that they've got? It started off as a bit of a joke meditation, but it's actually really good. And it's called Fuck That.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like
wicked.
It's incredible. I was listening to this talk. This channeler that a friend sent to me, and regardless of you know, the whole, whether it was a channeler, all this kind of things. Like, apart from that, the message was just so good, because he was just like, so there's no point. The interviewer guy says, so there's no point. And the ascended master's like, no. He's like, so there's just no point. It's like, no. Okay. And this guy was trying to like figure out, but what about like law of attraction? What about creating reality? What about like getting what you want? And what about, and it's like, no, there's no point. He didn't quite say like that, but he was basically saying like, there is no point. There's no point to life apart from just being here and being energy. Like, there's no destination. There's nothing to get to. There's nothing to achieve. There's no rewards. There's no competition. It's just being. Like, and he was just let it be what it is. Just let it be. Just go and sit on a bench and let it be, and watch the magic happen for you. And it will show you what is your journey and what is meant for you to do. It will show you that, of course, you're going to go and sing to those people. Of course, you're going to go and record. Of course, because that's, you know, that it's almost like there's no other way for you than that. But again, there's no point. You know what I mean? It's like the whole fuck it thing. It's just like, fuck it. What's the fucking point? I don't get it. That is definitely a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah,